Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding.
Bayang magiliw, pelos ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simula, sa langit o makaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislat ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilingig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pamay di magdidilig. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Sa bayanihan, iumol sa panaghiusa, sa tinuhang may mabiyaan, sa pagkinabangan may kalambuan.
Lapang de oro, mahandi mo nakasita, ikan sa magpupuhan. Lapang de oro, tumuran sa kabukiran sa lumaki sa limahan, bunga sa kadagayan.
May oro yung tansaan, may bulawang may patnuban, yung tamong nagmadagayaon, mga anak mong mahigugmao.
Sa pagtigabangan may kalambuan. Lapang de oro, kanino madakita, aming kaglahanan. Lapang de oro, magulawan sa paraiso, sa naghiusap na Babylon. Ang kaanyang mong pag-ibig, sa
Kalakasan ng bayan, mag-aral ng mabuti pagkat ito'y kailangan.
Kinabukasan ay nasa iyong mga kamay. Yaman ang isipan,
Kaalaman ay palaguin dito sa TV Eskwela. Sa pag-aaral sama-sama, inanin natin ang kakayahan, matututunawa dito sa TV Eskwela.
Bawat pagsisikap nila ay gintong aral.
Bawat pagkatuto, magtatagumpay tayo.
patuloy susulong, kayang-kaya natin to.
Yaman ang isipan,
Kaalaman ay palaguin dito sa TV Eskwela. Sa pag-aaral sama-sama, inanin natin ang kakayahan, matutong umunawa dito sa TV Eskwela. Dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral sama-sama, inanin natin ang kakayahan, matututong umunawa dito sa TV Eskwela. Dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral sama-sama.
Good afternoon, Davao de Oro.
Welcome to TV Eskwela sa pag-aaral sama-sama. Yes, I am teacher Raymart Felisilda from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School.
I am teacher Crystal Rain Mainos Gonzalez from Attorney Orlando S. Rimando National High School.
Wilfredo Takasan from Magnaga National High School.
And Ed Ian Elda Asin po from Bungabong National High School.
And join us through our Facebook Lives at our official Facebook page. That's TV Eskwela DepEd Davao de Oro. Habang ita makita, Sir Fred?
Okay, makita po ta sa ato ang Facebook page na DepEd tayo Davao de Oro, Serbisyo Oro mismo. O sa ato ang YouTube na
Yes,
DDO TV Eskwela.
Please
And-
don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, and usab tuod no, live pod kita sa Nabunturan Cable TV Network channel
33.
33.
Yan.
And also, para sa ato mga learners nga nagatanaw karon and even our teachers and our other stakeholders, we have a online attendance nga makita sa caption sa ato ang Facebook Live. So please do fill out the attendance form.
Okay, so this afternoon siguro mapagawas siguro ang ato ang stamina, ang atong kakusog siguro sa mga episodes na ato ang ipalabas.
Yes, tama jud ka diha, Sir Fred, no? So, it's another day for another learning nga kaan. We special program tanan nga to ang mga discussion we have from special program in the arts and special program in sports.
Yes.
And unsa pa tong dugayan, sir? Ato ang tanawan atong first presenter. We have Ma'am Christene Geoseth Sayson Balidio of Compostela National High School, Compostela East District, as she drives us into the world of table tennis. Davao de Oro, please watch this.
Gold Day, Province and Division of Davao de Oro. Welcome to this episode of TV Eskwela, especially to our grade 7 learners of Special Program in Sports. I am teacher Christene Geoseth Sayson Balidio from Compostela National High School, Compostela East District. Today, we will learn things about table tennis. Before we will proceed, make sure you prepare your notebook and pen. Are you ready? Now let us start our lesson. First, let us check if you have some knowledge about the sport table tennis. Can you identify the pictures that belong to the sport table tennis? Great job! We will further learn about this sport as we journey to our lesson. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to learn the history of table tennis, identify the equipments and basic skills in table tennis, and understand the different rules in playing table tennis. Now it is time to learn. Table tennis is a ball game similar in principle to lawn tennis and played on a flat table divided into two equal courts by a net fixed across its width at the middle. The objective is to hit the ball so that it goes over the net and bounces on the opponent's half of the table in such a way that the opponent cannot reach it or return it correctly. The lightweight hollow ball is propelled back and forth across the net by small rackets held by the players. The game is popular all over the world. In most countries, it is very highly organized as a competitive sport, especially in Europe and Asia, particularly in China and Japan. Now, let us talk about the history of table tennis. Table tennis evolved along with the badminton and lawn tennis in 1880s. Early version of game in 1890 had cloth-covered rubber ball, strong racket, and wooden fences around the table. Changes started in 1900s when celluloid ball was used, and its name changed to ping pong due to the sound of the ball. The game was invented in England in the early days of the 20th century and was originally called ping pong, its trade name. The name table tennis was adopted in 1921 to 1922 when the old Ping Pong Association, formed in 1902, was revived. The original association had broken up about 1905, though apparently the game continued to be played in parts of England outside London and by the 1920s was being played in many countries. Led by representatives of Germany, Hungary, and England, the International Table Tennis Federation was founded in 1926. The founding members being England, Sweden, Hungary, India, Denmark, Germany, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and Wales. By the mid-1990s, more than 165 national associations were members. The first World Championships were held in London in 1926. And from then until 1939, the game was dominated by players from Central Europe, the men's team event being won 9 times by Hungary and twice by Czechoslovakia. In the mid-1950s, Asia emerged as a breeding ground of champions, and from that time, the men's team event has been won by either Japan or China, and as the women's event, though to a lesser extent. North Korea also became an international force. In 1980, the first World Cup was held, and Gu Yuwa of China won the $12,500 first prize. Table tennis became an Olympic sport in 1988, with singles and doubles competition for men and women. This time, we will talk about the history of table tennis in the Philippines. In 1899, during the American GIs, early educators called Thomasites introduced table tennis using sandpaper rackets to locals in the Philippines during the period. After the American GIs left, table tennis remained as a primary form of inexpensive recreation in the Philippines. Because these early rackets were made of sandpaper surfaces by the Parker Brothers Company in the USA, it became known as liha in Tagalog from that point onward. There you have it, the history of table tennis. Let us check how much you learned. Let us do a short activity. Answer the following questions. Choose your answers from the word box and write them in your notebook. Number 1. When did the International Table Tennis Federation was founded? Again, when did the International Table Tennis Federation was founded? Number 2. What is the famous trade name of table tennis? Again, what is the famous trade name of table tennis? Number 3. Who introduced table tennis in the Philippines? Again, who introduced table tennis in the Philippines? Are you done? Good! Now, let us check your answers. What is your answer for number 1? Correct! The International Table Tennis Federation was founded in 1926. Let us move on to number 2. That is correct! Ping pong is the famous trade name of table tennis. What about number 3? Amazing! Thomasites introduced table tennis to locals in the Philippines. You did great in our activity. Now, let us talk about the equipment used in table tennis. The following are the equipments needed in playing table tennis. First, we have the table tennis racket. Table tennis rackets should be flat and rigid. It can be in any size, shape, or weight. Minimum 85% of blade thickness should constitute natural wood. Next, we have the table. The tables in the official table tennis game are rectangular surface that has 9 feet or 274 centimeters long and 5 feet or 152.5 centimeters wide. The playing surface is placed 2 feet 6 inches or 76 centimeters above the ground. The table surface should be dark colored with 3/4 inch or 2 centimeters white line running along each edge. The table should offer uniform bounce during the game. Next is ball. The table tennis ball is spherical and is 40 millimeters in diameter. The ball is made of celluloid or similar plastic material. It generally weighs 2.7 grams. Then we have the net. The net is placed at the center, dividing the table into 2 equal halves. The net is placed 6 inches or 15.25 centimeters above the playing surface. You have learned the history and equipments used in this sport. This time, let us talk about the skills that you should learn to play table tennis. We have two skills that you should learn before playing this sport. First is the grip. It is how you hold the racket. Then we have the stroke. It is how you paddle and hit the ball. Let us discuss it further. There are two types of grips. First, we have the penhold. The penhold grip is named because one grips the racket similarly to the way one holds a writing instrument. The style of play among penhold players can vary greatly from player to player. The most popular style, usually referred to as the Chinese penhold style, involves curling the middle, ring, and fourth finger on the back of the blade with the three fingers always remain touching one another. Second is the shake hand grip. The shake hand grip is named because one grips the racket similarly to the way one performs a handshake. The grip is sometimes referred to as the tennis grip or the Western grip, although it has no correlation to the Western grip used in tennis. The shake hand grip is traditionally popular among players originating in Western nations and South Asian nations. Is it clear? Great job! There are different types of strokes that you could use depending on the attack and defense of the opponent. The first stroke is the backhand push. The backhand push is a defensive stroke using backspin to make it hard for the opponent to attack. By pushing short, you limit the options. Your opponent has to take the initiative. The second stroke is the forehand push. When executing the forehand push, you need to impart some backspin. This makes it hard for your opponent to attack the ball. By pushing short, your opponent will not be able to take a full swing at the ball. Third stroke is the forehand topspin. The forehand topspin is one of the most fun strokes to play. And once you learn how to impart a strong topspin on the ball, it will become a very consistent stroke. Fourth stroke is the backhand topspin. The backhand topspin should be learned at the same time as the forehand topspin. It is a great attacking stroke that can really improve your game. By being able to play such an aggressive shot from your backhand side, your opponent will find it difficult to stop you gaining the initiative. The fifth stroke is the backhand block. The backhand block is used against an attacking topspin. As your opponent's shot will be fast, you won't need to make the pace yourself, and so the stroke can be quite short. You will need to vary the angle of your racket depending on the amount of topspin on the ball. The next stroke is the forehand block. The forehand block is used against an attacking topspin. As your opponent's shot will be fast, you won't need to make the pace yourself. You will need to vary the angle of your racket depending on the amount of topspin on the ball. Then we have the forehand smash. The forehand smash is used as an attacking stroke to try and win the point. The most common mistake we see players make with the forehand smash is falling to get themselves into position. The key to the smash is to get your feet moving early and get into a good position. And lastly, the table tennis serve. The table tennis serve is the most important stroke in the game because it provides the only situation in which you have the total control over how and where you play the ball. We already have discussed the different equipment and skills needed to play table tennis. This time, we will have another activity. Kindly write your answers in your notebook. Identify the skills shown in each picture. Number 1. The answer is forehand block. Correct. Number 2. You get it right. It is backhand push. Number 3. Correct. The answer is table tennis serve. Number 4. That is right. The answer is forehand top spin. Number 5. Excellent. It is backhand top spin. You got it all correctly. You did a great job for today's lesson. That's it for today. I hope you learned a lot of things about table tennis. This is your special program in sports specialist, Christene Geoseth Sayson Balidio from Compostela National High School, Compostela East District. Saying, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!
And we are back here at TV Eskwela sa pag-aaral sama-sama. Ayan, so congratulations to our TV presenter, Ma'am Geoseth Balidio, nga di ubanan jud Sir Fred sa iyahang bana nga naa diri karon busy og pamicture. Si Sir Raul.
And we would like also to congratulate ang editor ni Ma'am Geoseth, si Ma'am Christene C. Ma'am
FUTSAL Rain Eroy.
Thank you kaayo, ma'am.
Okay, so ato ang gikauban karon Sir Fred, no, ang ato ang TV presenter sa SPS7 diin gitudlo niya ang about sa table tennis. So,
But
ako jud sir ganahan kay ko sa topic, you know na basta sports.
sa sports, okay. But before that, Sir Ed, ato hatang pangutanon si i-relax na nato si Ma'am.
Yes.
Before that, pangutanon og mga seryoso na mga pangutana. So ato siyang light mood sa nato, iset sa nato light ng ato ang mood karon para ma-relax pod si Ma'am. Ma'am, good afternoon, Ma'am. Kumusta?
Good afternoon, sir. Okay lang, sir. Medyo nakulbaan pero laban lang.
Laban lang daw.
Kakulba, ma'am.
Kasi naakay gusto i-greet karon, Ma'am. So ihatag namo ang opportunity para mag-greet nimo partially kung kinsa man tong imong i-greet.
Okay, thank you, sir. So first of all, I would like to thank my editor, Ma'am Rain Eroy. Salamat kaayo, ma'am. And second is si Sir Jess Blanco sa pagpagwapa sa ako. And also, akong mga kamape teacher sa Compostela National High School. Our coordinator, Ma'am Lizal Manatad. Manang, thank you kaayo sa support. And also, I would like to greet happy birthday ang among kauban nga Mape po teacher, si Ma'am Denise Serrano. Happy birthday. Katulang, sir.
Yan no. So, chill lang ta, ma'am. Ayaw, di ta babati-bati kulba. Kay kuan.
Nalaki follow-up na pangutana sa iya, sir. Unsay feeling sa usa ka teacher, ma'am, under sa special program in sport, particularly sa imong topic na sa imong subject nimo na sa sports or MAPI ba na siya gihapon, ma'am?
Yes po, under gihapon siya sa MAPE, special program in sports. It's a bit challenging, sir, kay of course we have a lot of sports baya, so wala jud mi ka na gina-major nga sports. So a bit challenging siya kay table tennis, do dili kay nako siya kanang forte jud nga sports, pero carry ra gihapon siya, sir, kay mga MAPE baya, so laban lang.
And aside siguro po na ma'am no kanang kinahanglan gyud ninyo i-familiarize tong mga common o uncommon pag yun nga mga sports no.
Yes, jud sir, i-need jud siya nga i-familiarize kay naaman joy instance nga ibalhin og designation lahi na pud imong specialization, especially sa special program in sports.
Amid sa kanong atong kaning sa pandemic karon, ma'am, giunsa nimo pag supplement o paghatag o guidance sa mga estudyante under sa imong subject? Unsay mga interventions di mong ipanghatag o ipanggamit, ma'am?
In our school, sir, ginit mi sa amo ang special program and sports coordinator. Gi-advisean mi niya nga magbuhat mi og self-made module. So mo to akong gibuhat for my student under the table tennis specialization. So naghatag kog module, and also nagbuhat po kog GC kay para ang ilahang mga practical exams, ang ilahang mga drills na ginapabuhat nako, pwede na nila i-send through Messenger.
So online, kumbaga online ang ilahang...
Yes, sir, murag mix na siya.
Okay, so murag ilahang execution is through online.
Yes,
or application
sir.
sa balay.
Yes. Curious lang ko ma'am baka pas anang sa SPA, di ba naman na sila gina field of specialization. Napo di gina major kibali ang mga bata ug unsa nga sports ilahang ko anan?
Yes, sir, sa special program in sports, so daghan ang gina-offer depende pod sa school, sa teachers na available kung unsa na sports. Pareha sa amo, ubay-ubay pod ang gina-offer. So nami badminton, taekwondo, gymnastics, basketball, volleyball, table tennis, daghan pa jud, sir.
Abi na ko magtanan na baton nila.
Ako po, sir, maupo na ako ang perception, sir, ba na pag naka sa special program in sports, parang sports dapat imo
dapat kung kabalo ka mudagan, kabalo sad ka mulangoy.
kaya pareho sa special program in journalism, siya na dapat tanang categories
diba?
may baluang yun nimo kay mao man na imuhang itudo sa mga bata.
Yeah, so at least na enlighten ta karon na. Ma'am, na ay mga questions ma'am nga gipaabot karon gikan sa ato ang mga televiewers. So nala sila gusto nga gina-clarify, and I hope I am sure ready si ma'am nga motubag ani. Question number 1 daw ma'am is, which country dominates table tennis?
We all know that table tennis came from Europe. However, Asian dominates this sports in international arena, particularly China. So in China, table tennis is more than a sport. It is not only the national sport, but it is also the part of their culture and national pride. So they have an extensive training program for their top provincial and national team for 10 hours daily. So they also have a huge government support for the sport in general. And China national team has the biggest training center for table tennis in the world. So ingon ana ka supportive ang government sa China in terms of table tennis.
So mga Chinese youth sa China gyud nagsugod, nagkuan kumbaga.
Yes,
sir, no. So though diha nimo makita ang power nila no nga though wala nag-start sa ilaha ang sport, but then gabi man ang ilahang dedication put lima kag 10 hours. 10 hours
Yes,
nga hinapakay
sir.
nimo anong
Aside
bola
sir,
siya, no?
based po sa ingon po ni ma'am na dili lang siya ingon na ordinary sports lang ang treatment nila sa ping pong, di ba?
Yes,
We
sir.
considered nila as national pride. Murag part sa ilahang culture. Pareho sa ato gihapon,
Kaya
sir.
sa ato ang boxing o basketball
na
nga.
mura og pag naay boxing na laban si Pacquiao. So holiday or zero crime rate ang Pilipinas.
Or kung mag-basketball pod at the same time, tama tong gingon no, murag apil na gyud siya sa tong kultura. Tanan.
Yes, sir.
Yan.
So, mo proceed ta sa ikaduha na pangutana, ma'am. What are the benefits of playing table tennis?
There are a lot of benefits in playing table tennis. First, it helps you build strength, speed, and agility. It also improves hand-eye coordination, balance, and reflexes. So this sport also help you burn calories like any other sports. It keeps your brain sharp, and this is even called the world's best brain sport. It is also used as a treatment for dementia. So, mura ginagamit po siya, sir, katong na yung mga problem in dementia.
So mura siya kuan. Pero ang kalahian ng aniya sa badminton sir, kay ang badminton although pareha sila makadagandagan ka, pero kani siya is gamay ra man gud iyahang court.
Yes, sir.
Kaya
motong
mo shoot yun ni mo.
Motong kuan jud sir katong hand-eye coordination
Yes,
na
sir.
makuan gid nato no. So ube nang mag-in-terms na gani sir, ganahan na kay kumuadto dito sa table tennis court
Kay naama siya sa sunod ra.
manghilabot ko sa kuan sa mga bata. Ako na po'y dula. Unya na mo bisag kamoy player. Okay, so for question number 3, why do we need to learn the basic skills in playing table tennis?
So, even the most complex game is built on the foundation of the basic skills. So, practicing the basic skills of table tennis improves your performance and your enjoyment and allows you to develop more advanced skills later on.
So tama po tong giimo ni ma'am na dapat gyud ato ang tungnan atun-an gyud ang basics kay mao man gyud na pinaka importante. Okay, so kanang kumbaga ang kumbaga pag-learn sa basic Sir Ed is dili lang siya ingon na mo diretso dayon ang bata for competition. Kumbaga at least leisure or enjoyment lang para pag makatabang po sa iyahang kinang iyahang kuan life po ni.
Yes sir no, kay dili lang man pud tanan nga nagtuon ta sa sports for contest. Ang uban man pud na kay for leisure na to, at least pud sad part na sa tong pag-exercise sama sa giingon ni ma'am ganina nga at least pud sad ma-boost ma-enhance atong agility and sabay ito tong speed nato kato siya.
Pero ikaw mismo ma'am try ka na magdula og table tennis.
Sa college, sir, dili jud kayo ko ingon anak kahana sa table tennis pero ginagraduhan man jud. So we really need to learn jud ang table tennis. So pero mas karon mas na-enhance, mas na learn nako siya kuan deeply kay syempre nasa ako man siya gihatag. So I really need to study.
So,
para ana.
Yes, thank you ma'am. Ora po na siya kalainan sa kanang sa special program sa sports o sa journalism sir no kay naman po sports po ang sa journalism. Ang sa special program in journalism sa dili ka kuan player or athlete as long as nakabalo ka sa guidelines, kabalo ka sa
rules,
kabalo ka sa rules, pwede ka mamahimong sports writer. Pero
yes. sa ilaha dili bisan pag unsa ka kabalo sa rules dira di ka kabalo mo hapak anang bola din ha.
Di ka pwede.
Agree jud sir.
Jud na maabot sa pikas ang kuan bola. So mo jud ta siya sir no nga by virtue of no choice. Si ma'am mo tuon jud siya dapat.
At least katong ingon number 3 sir na dapat basic lang.
Yeah, basic diba? And for enjoyment. I'm sure nalingaw po sa si ma'am nagtudlo no.
Okay. Na siya sa panahon gyud karon na dapat i-enjoy lang gyud tanan, especially ang pagpanudlo nato sa mga bata.
Yes sir no. So klaro jud kayo Sir Fred no. Thank you Ma'am Geoseth sa pagtudlo sa moa about table tennis. I am sure daghang natun-an na nga to ang mga learners o aside pa na nga to ang mga parents and also our teachers.
So dili lang siguro table tennis ang atong asahan kay ma'am sa next na mga episode pa, maybe next school year. So siguro ba si maabot na si ma'am og kuan kaning badminton or volleyball siguro.
Yes, no. So siguro kadon Sir Fred ihatag na tug balik ka Ma'am Geoseth ang panahon alang sa kung naa pa ba siya mga nakalimtan nga og pasalamat, any final words message, po for a message for our learners, our teachers or kung kinsa pa imahang tinbayahon mo.
Again, good afternoon everyone. So first of all, I would like to thank our education program supervisor in MAPE, Sir Dexter Sikinya. Sir, thank you so much. Perminti jud ka one call or text or chat away. Thank you kaayo sir. And also I would like to thank our school principal 4 in Compostela National High School, Dr. Norman Handog. Senior high school principal 2, Dr. Michael Ebe. Senior high school assistant school principal 2, Dr. Nicolas Cabahog, and also our head teachers, Ma'am Marisa Hontilia, Ma'am Gloria Monteverde, our master teacher in MAPE, Ma'am Maria Teresa Apog, our special program in sports coordinator, Ma'am Geoseth Asilo, thank you ma'am, and also to our MAPE coordinator, Manang Lizelle Manatad, and the rest of the MAPE teachers. And also I would like to thank my family, Mama Suzette, KZ Cyril, my husband, akong stage husband, Raul Balidio, and our son, Ray Gavin Balidio, and also my learners who is watching karon. Salamat kayo sa inyong suporta.
Ayan no. So ubay-ubay jud ang mga ni-suporta kang ma'am.
Ubay-ubay jud. So kumbaga grabe yun ang support na gihatag nila kay ma'am. So by the way Sir Ed, before ta mo padayon sa atong next TV presenter, we would like to inform everyone na still we are live sa atong mga Facebook pages.
Yes.
So makitaan kita sa ato ang TV Eskwela DepEd Davao de Oro.
We also have from DepEd tayo, Davao de Oro and Servicio Oro mismo. And we would like to also remind everyone nga live usab kita, Sir Fred, dili lang sa Facebook kundi dili sa ato ang YouTube channel, that is DDO TV Eskwela, and also sa Nabunturan Cable TV Network Channel 33.
Kung padayon lang gihapon kita sa pag-attendance, katong wala pa naka-attendance, i-click lang ato ang link na makitaan ubos sa ato ang TV screen.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess sunod na ta ato ang ikaduha na TV presenter atong
yes, sir.
episode.
Excited ko sa next topic kay medyo bag-ubag uni nga sport.
Kung ganina is all about ping pong or table tennis, karon sir is the laws of game futsal. Futsal na pod. So ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our next TV presenter, Ma'am Noreen Santiago Acusar, from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Nabunturan West District, Davao de Oro.
Let's watch this.
Good day, special program in sports learners. I hope you still remain fit as you are continuously doing exercises and individual drills. Before we begin, please make yourselves comfortable. Make ready your activity notebook and pen and stay focused for another interesting lesson. I am Teacher Noreen Santiago Acusar from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Nabunturan West District. In today's episode, I will impart to you the laws of the game futsal. After this lesson, you are expected to identify the laws of the game futsal and be able to abide by these laws, caution yourselves from committing any offense, and refrain from incurring any disciplinary sanction, thus molding you to become a true athlete. Before going to our lesson proper, let us have this short challenge. Match the players to their total earnings for 2020. This is according to the article The World's Highest Paid Soccer Players 2020 by Christine Setimi of Forbes.com. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Let us check your answers. Number 1, letter B, $126 million. Number 2, letter C, $117 million. Number 3, letter D, $96 million. And number 4, letter A, $42 million. Did you get it right? Wow! Amazing! Forbes estimate Messi's total yearly earnings for 2020, including endorsements, at $126 million, ahead of Juventus forward Ronaldo in second on $117 million. Paris Saint-Germain's Brazilian forward Neymar Jr. is in third with $96 million, and teammate Kylian Mbappe, by far the youngest player in the top 10, in fourth with $42 million. Soccer players play futsal too. You may not be able to earn as much as they do, but you can aspire to be as great as they are. Just to refresh your memories, let me share to you briefly the history of futsal. Futsal is a small-sided version of football. that is played worldwide on a smaller pitch and mainly played indoors. Its name is from blended Portuguese words, which can be translated as hall football. Its origins are in South America. During the sport's second World Championships held in Madrid in 1985, the Spanish name football sala was used. Since then, all other names have been officially and internationally changed to futsal. Now, please prepare your notebook and pen and take important notes on our main topic, the laws of the game futsal. Law 1. The pitch. The pitch used in futsal must be rectangular, with the length of the touchline greater than the length of the goal line, with various restrictions on other key elements. The radius of the center circle is 3 meters, while the penalty area is made up of 2 quarter circles, each with a 6-meter radius from the outside of each goal post. There are 2 penalty marks, the first 6 meters and the second 10 meters from the center of the goal line. 2 additional marks, each with a distance of 5 meters on either side of the second penalty mark, must be made on the pitch to indicate the distance to be observed when a free kick is being taken from the second penalty mark. At each of the 4 corners, a quarter circle with a radius of 25 centimeters is drawn inside the pitch. A mark must be drawn outside the pitch, 5 meters from the corner arc, and at the right angles to the goal line, to show the distance to be observed when a corner kick is taken. The substitution ends are situated on the same side of the pitch as the team's benches, directly in front of them, to allow easy access to and from the pitch. The goals, which are placed on the center of each of the 2 goal lines, have a distance of 3 meters between the inside of the posts, with a crossbar 2 meters above the ground. Nets are attached to the post with a depth of at least 80 centimeters at the top and 100 centimeters at ground level. The goals must have a stabilizing system that prevents them from overturning. Portable goals may be used as long as they are as stable as fixed goals. Law 2. The ball. The ball used in futsal must be spherical, with a circumference of between 62 and 64 centimeters, manufactured from a suitable material, and weighing between 400 and 440 grams at the start of a match, with a pressure equal to 0.4 to 0.6 atmospheres at sea level. Law 3. The number of players. Teams will begin a game of futsal with 5 players, 4 outfield and a goalkeeper, with up to 7 substitutes permitted per team. Substitutions may be made at any time during the game. The players who have been substituted can return at any time. Unused substitutes must remain within the substitution zone until the player they're replacing has crossed over the touchline, and the substitution is completed when the player coming on enters the pitch. From that moment, he becomes an active player, with the player he's replacing ceasing to be active. Law 4. The player's equipment. Players must not use equipment or wear anything that is potentially dangerous to either themselves or another player. This includes any kind of jewelry. A player replacing a goalkeeper has to wear a goalkeeper's jersey with his number on it, taking care that the colors do not cause confusion. Law 5. The referee. The game is controlled by a referee. He has full authority to enforce the laws of the game. The duties of the referee include ensuring that the goals and nets are properly secured, taking disciplinary action against players guilty of cautionable and sending off offenses, while maintaining complete control over both the teams and officials involved in the match. Law 6. The second referee. In futsal, a second referee is also appointed to operate on the opposite side of the pitch to the referee. And like the first referee, he is also permitted to use a whistle. The second referee helps to control the match with the same discretionary powers to stop the game for any infringement. Although the first referee's decision will always prevail in the event of a disagreement. Law 7. The timekeeper and the third referee. A timekeeper and a third referee can also be appointed, and they are seated outside the pitch of the halfway line on the same side as the substitution ends. The third referee's role is to assist the timekeeper by maintaining records of the first 5 fouls committed by each team and noting the numbers of the players who have scored, are cautioned, or being sent off, as well as providing any other information relevant to the game. Law 8. Duration of the match. The match lasts for 2 equal periods of 20 minutes under the control of the timekeeper. Although, the duration may be extended to allow a penalty kick or a direct free kick to be taken against the team that has committed more than 5 accumulated fouls. Each team is entitled to a 1-minute timeout during each half. However, if a team does not request a timeout in the first half of the match, they are still only entitled to 1 timeout during the second half. Law 9. The start and restart of the play. A coin is tossed, and the team that wins the toss decides which goal it wishes to attack in the first half. The team that loses the toss kicks off at the start of the first half, and the team that wins the toss will kick off at the start of the second half, the teams having changed ends at halftime. A kick-off is used to start or restart play. At the beginning of the match, after a goal is being scored, at the start of the second half, and at the start of each period of extra time if applicable. A goal may be scored direct from the kickoff. Law 10. The ball in and out of play. The ball is deemed to be out of play when it has completely crossed the goal line or the touch line, whether it be on the ground or in the air. The ball is also considered to be out of play when the match is being halted by the referees or the ball has hit the ceiling. The minimum height of the ceilings must be 4 meters as stipulated in competition regulations. Law 11. The method of scoring. A goal is scored when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, between the posts and under the crossbar, unless it is being thrown or propelled by the hand or arm of a member of the attacking team, including the goalkeeper. The team scoring the greater number of goals is the winner. If the number of goals scored is equal, the game will either be drawn, or if the competition regulation states that a match must end with the winning team, or if a playoff ends in a draw. Only the following procedures are stipulated by FIFA, or the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, French for International Federation of Association Football, may be taken into account. The number of goals scored away from home, in which case goals scored in away matches count as double. Are you still there? Good. Now stretch it, shake it. There's more. Law 12. Fouls and misconduct. A direct free kick is awarded to the opposing team if a player commits any of the following 6 offenses in a manner considered to be careless, reckless, or using excessive force. Kicks or attempts to kick an opponent. Trips or attempts to trip an opponent. Jumps at an opponent. Charges an opponent. Strikes or attempts to strike an opponent. Pushes an opponent. Law 13. Free kicks. Free kicks may be either direct or indirect, depending on the type of infringement. On either case, the ball must be stationary when the kick is taken. If the kick is indirect, a goal may only be scored if the ball subsequently touches another player before it enters the goal. The team taking the free kick must do so within 4 seconds, and the kicker must not touch the ball the second time before it touches another player. All opposing players must be at least 5 meters from the ball until the free kick has been taken. Law 14. Accumulated fouls. Accumulated fouls are those punished by the awarding of a direct free kick as outlined in Law 12. The first 5 accumulated fouls committed by each team during any one half are recorded by the timekeeper. Law 15. The penalty kick. A penalty kick is awarded against the team that commits any of the offenses for which a direct free kick is awarded but inside their own penalty area. The ball is placed on the penalty mark and the penalty taker identified. The defending goalkeeper must remain on his goal line and all other players must be behind the penalty mark and at least 5 meters away from the penalty mark. Law 16. The kick-in. A kick-in is a method of restarting play after the ball passes over the touchline, either on the ground or in the air, or if it hits the ceiling. The kick-in is taken and is kicked in from the place where the ball crossed the touchline, having last being touched by the opposing team. Law 17. The goal clearance. A goal clearance is awarded when the ball passes over the goal line, having been touched last by a member of the attacking team. The goal clearance must be taken within 4 seconds and is taken by the goalkeeper of the defending team. and throws the ball from any point within his penalty area. Law 18. The corner kick. A corner kick is another method of restarting play and is awarded when the ball passes over the goal line, having last being touched by a member of the defending team. The corner is taken with the ball placed in the arc at the nearest corner and is taken by a member of the attacking team. Let us now check what you have learned. Identify if the statement is true or false about futsal and the laws of the game. Number 1. Futsal is a small-sided version of football that is played worldwide on a smaller pitch and mainly played indoors. Correct! The answer is true. Number 2. Substitutions may be made at any time during the game. The players who have been substituted can return at any time. Well done! The answer is true. Number 3. The basic compulsory equipment of a player comprises the following separate articles: jersey, shorts, socks, shin guards, and footwear. Amazing! The answer is true. Number 4. If an offense is of a more serious nature, a player may be dealt with a red card and sent off if he is guilty of serious foul play. Good job! The answer is true. Number 5. The officials have full authority to enforce the laws of the game. You are right. The answer is false. It is the referee who has the full authority to enforce the laws of the game. Wow, you did great. I hope you learned a lot on our episode today. Let me leave you this quote. Ignorance of the law excuses no one. So, you better be familiar with the laws of the game of your chosen sport. Once again, I am teacher Noreen Santiago Acusar from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Nabunturan West District, saying, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!
And welcome back here in TV Eskwela sa
Pag-aaral Sama-sama. And that was teacher Noreen Santiago Acusar from Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School. And of course, Ma'am Cristel, i-welcome nato si Ma'am Noreen sa atuang studio this
Gwapa kay si
afternoon.
Ma'am, no?
Yes, gikan sa presentation o sa personal what na usab.
Oo.
No?
Usahay, gwapa kaayo sa kwan, pero mas gwapa pa gyud si Ma'am sa personal.
Yes, of course. Ug naba kay gusto pasalamatan, Ma'am,
Yes.
for the success of your video presentation.
Padako og heart gyud ang inyong mga papuri, no? So thank you kayo sa mga appreciations. So tungod jud nagwapa gyud ni akong kilay labi na kay Ma'am Cristel jud, kay Miss
Kinsa
Cristel
jud na
Gonzalez.
siya?
Agoy pabor-pabor gyud eh. Wala gyud ni pabor-pabor nga kagwapa, no?
Ikaw gyud to akong gihangyo. Oh, sige. So maayong hapon sa tanan, labi na sa akong pamilya sa Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School sa MAPE Department nga musuporta gyud daw to sila karon og tan-aw sa ato karong hapon.
Yes, of course. Ug ato apong pasalamatan ang video editor ni Ma'am Noreen, si Ma'am Mary Joy Aleria.
And i-remind po nato no ang mga nananaw diha karon, actually daghang nananaw karon. And sa mga nag-comment diha sa to ang TV Eskwela DepEd Davao de Oro Facebook page, please do not forget to fill out our TVBI attendance nga naa diha sa among caption ug naa po diha available sa on screen, diya sa baba sa screen.
Yes, and if you happen to miss the video presentation of Ma'am Noreen ganina, you can visit our official YouTube channel, that's DDO TV Eskwela, and we are also live sa ato ang YouTube channel. So please like and subscribe.
And please do not forget to hit the notification bell para ma-update yun mo kung na yung mga bagong episode na itong i-upload. Ayan!
Alright, so balik ta sa video presentation or sa lesson nga gidiscuss ganina ni Ma'am Noreen, no? Well, siguro futsal is medyo new siya.
Correct.
Sa ato ang pandungog or bago siya sa ato ang pandungog. It's because sa naka-remember ko elementary and high school, dili na ko siya common nga makita during intramurals. Diba? Ang ato ang common nga makita is football or soccer.
Ana. Sa barangay dili kay siya ginadula, diba? So dili kita familiar. At least karon na si Ma'am para matubag atong mga pangutana kung unsa jud ang futsal. Ayan.
Yeah, so siguro ma'am, no, many of our viewers, especially our learners, our young learners are very interested to know what is the difference between soccer and futsal. Unsa ba gyud, ma'am?
So, bali ang basic skills jud sa futsal kay pareho lang jud siya sa soccer,
yes,
na. Pero syempre ang term futsal kay indoor siya ginadula ang futsal. Oo. So mura siya mini soccer. Because of the number of players for one, kay 5 lang man on field ang magdula sa futsal, tapos mas gamay pod ang pitch nga ginagamit sa futsal.
Kumbaga,
so mura siya mini soccer.
Siya a type of soccer played indoor. Ana siya.
Indoor soccer jud, ma'am.
Ana gyud pod.
Lahi pod ang si futsal.
Okay. So we also have another question here, ma'am, no? How many players are on a futsal team?
Kung sa team jud, pwede ta up to 12 players in a team. Pero ang magdula on field again are 5 players.
5 players.
4 outfield and 1 goalkeeper for each team. Tapos na ay up to 7 substitutes nga permitted. Kay unlimited man ang substitution sa futsal, kay very fast kayo ang dula sa futsal, prone po in a way ang mga players sa kanang injuries. So, kanang nindot jud na paspas ang substitution. Unlimited siya.
Yes. Siguro gamay ra ang players, no? 5 kay syempre given na gamay pud kaayo ang ilahang ginadulaan. Actually kita na ko live unsaon pagdula sa futsal, no? And mas grabe grabe ka intense ang game tungod sa space na ginagamit na mura siya basketball court lang kagamay. Unlike sa soccer nga sa field nga dako gyud.
Well, it's good to know nga medyo gamay lang ang iyahang field na kailangan. It's because ang dilemma man gud sa magdula og soccer or sa gusto magdula og soccer is basig gamay lang ang ilahang space nga available. Alright, so aside from that, ma'am, what else are the basic equipment of a player in playing futsal?
So kani isa jud sa kanang requirement sa mga players kay isa ang syempre ang gear kay protective naman po siya at the same time. Plus dapat jud uniform ang each team pod sa ilang jerseys kay isa man na siya sa identification sa team. So sa basic equipments for a player na jersey, na shorts and socks, katong high socks kanang moabot sa ilahang below the knee high kumbaga ang ilahang socks. Tas naadjud dapat sila shin guards. Unya ilahang shoes. Naadjud tay commercially available na mga futsal shoes, pero pwede ra pud ng mga soft leather nga rubber soles ang atong mapalit.
Alright. So dili siya ang footwear nga ginagamit sa futsal, dili pariha atong sa soccer mismo nga naagi mga spike. Tama ba, ma'am?
Wala sila.
Wow, so daghang kitag nakatunan karon, sir, no? Indoor man siya.
And also, Ma'am Kring, atong i-mention, no, especially sa equipment, as mentioned by Ma'am Noreen ganina, that especially we are playing indoors, unya simento ato ginadulaan usahay, it's very important to wear shin guards para dili ta or iwas sa mga gasgas o kanang mga pangos nga itong
So requirement gina siya ma'am no nga makadula ka if dili ka magsuot ana di ka padulaon.
Oo, i-check na sa officials of the game before the start of the match. Ang shin guards yun. No shin guards, no proper gear, no play.
Yes. Ayan, another question ma'am no. What is the period of time daw in futsal game?
Sige. So, futsal has in a standard match of futsal, it consists of 2 equal periods of 20 minutes. So all in all, nara siya sa mga 40 minutes. Pero kay naman time out, 1 minute per half per team. So, mudagan jud siya, pwede pod up to mga 50 to 1 hour.
Alright, so mura gyud siya og soccer but in a kanang minimalistic way nga pagka-soccer.
Yes. Pero sa gikaingon sir ba nga mas paspas jud noon, intense
siya sa kay paspas jud maka-goal, makakuan.
So naka-mention mo ganina nga bago-bago lang yun siya diri sa ato na introduce. 1930s laman jud pud noon siya nag-start. Sa Uruguay. Sa South America. So kanang bago-bago siya na-introduce sa tuwa tapos nagsugod pud siya sa mga atong professional soccer players nga mga lalaki. Pero gianak nato sa ato diri sa Davao de Oro, sa futsal nato sa like sa provincial meet, mga girls atong players sa futsal.
Wow, so dili na nato i-limit sa mga lalaki.
Correct.
Kung kaya sa lalaki, of course, kaya po sa mga babae na to, mga players.
Ayan.
Now, I'm sure, ma'am, no, ato ang mga learners nga nagtanaw sa ilang mga balay karon gusto or very eager, especially kato mga SPS students na to, gusto na kayo sila siguro modula og futsal. However, we are not permitted to do so kay especially tungod sa ato ang ginatubang karon nga pandemic. Now, ma'am, what is your message para sa ato ang mga SPS learners?
Yes.
Okay, so sa mga SPS learners, labi na katong mga futsal players, padayon lang yun mo sa inyong mga individual drills.
Yes.
So atong pag-handle sa ball control, para ma-maintain lang gihapon ang inyong stamina. O of course, fitness kay bawal pa man gyud ta karon mag team sports.
Yes, correct. If mag-conditioning sa yun sila karon ma'am no, samtang dili pa yun kadula tungod sa mga protocols nga ato ang dapat sundon.
Yes, ug para dili nila makalimtan ang mga laws of futsal, of course, tan-awan ninyo ang video presentation that is of course presented by Ma'am Noreen Acusar.
And again, kung wala mo nakasugod sa iyahang TV presentation, please visit our YouTube channel, DDO TV Eskwela.
Yes, so ma'am, napa ba kay gusto nga pasalamatan?
Kaya basig na yung mangluod o hindi ma-mention.
And I have heard, ma'am, na agi nag-atang sa ato this afternoon. Nga special gid kini siya nga tao, ma'am.
So before the sige. So I would like to thank Sir Dexter sa Kenya sa for the opportunity to be part of the TVBI family. Tapos ang dati na principal, may he rest in peace si Sir John Cruz. Ang among current principal 4 si Dr. Maria Vertusio. Tapos ang akong head teacher 3 sa MAPE Department of NCHS, Ma'am Manuelita E. Madrid. Ang akong SPS coordinator si Sir Pancho B. Rojas Jr. Ang MAPE subject coordinator si Sir Christopher Vista ug mga ka-on-site nako diha karong hapon nga nasa MAPE department. Hello mga grade 9 and grade 10 teachers, ang mga off-site pod nga mga grade 7 and grade 8 teachers. Sa akong banang uskabuok si Mr. Roberto Acusar Jr.
Ganahan ko
supportive kaayo.
Yes.
Mga anak nga tulo ra pod kabuok pa. Si Mark, si Ella ug si Mavi. Okay, Ma'am Kring, nga nagpagwapa ka na ko yun sa mot. Okay, sa akong editor si Ma'am Mary Joy Aleria. Salamat sad kaayo, Ma'am.
Ayan.
Alright, so once again, ma'am, daghan kayong salamat on behalf of the actually TWG po na siya sa TVI, Ma'am Kring, no?
Yes, kauban nato ni siya sa prod team. Ayan. So now, let's proceed to our next presenter. Sketch your heart out and fill it with arts as we learn about freehand sketching and penciling techniques with our TV presenter, Sir Richard I. Fernandez of Manat National High School, Nabunturan East District. Davao de Oro, please watch this.
Hello learners in a special program in the arts. How are you today? It's another great day of learning on TV. And I'm sure you are all excited to listen and learn about arts. This is TV Eskwela of DepEd Davao de Oro, where learning continues and right venue of education. It is my pleasure to be with you as we explore and learn more about special program in the arts, visual arts for grade 7, quarter 3. I am Teacher Richard Indav Fernandez from Manat National High School, Nabunturan East District, your visual art teacher for today's episode. Join me in exploring the world of shapes, patterns, and creativity. Let's all create arts from the heart. Are you excited for today's lesson? Very good! Prepare your notebook, ball pen, so that we can take down notes on the important points to remember as we go along with this part episode. Are you now ready? Great! At the end of this episode, you are expected to identify the tools and materials in freehand sketching. Sketch using the tools and materials in freehand sketching. Appreciate the importance of freehand sketching. Today, we are going to identify the various tools and materials in freehand sketching and penciling techniques. Now, let me test your aptitude in visual arts and let's start the basic. Are you ready? Okay, great! I am going to show you pictures and all you have to do is to guess the name of that picture based on the scrambled letters each item. I will give you 5 seconds to answer each item. Ready? And the timer starts now. First picture. Yes, you are correct. It's a pencil. Second picture. Is your answer an eraser? You're absolutely correct. Third picture. Is it a graphing paper? Definitely correct. Fourth picture. Yes, it is a sharpener. Good job. Fifth and last picture. Did I hear drawing sheet? You're awesome because you are correct again. Drawing. The art or technique of producing images on a surface, usually paper, by means of marks, usually of ink, graphite, chalk, charcoal, or crayon. Sketch. Traditionally, a rough drawing or painting in which an artist notes down his preliminary ideas for a work that will eventually be realized with greater precision and detail. The term also applies to brief creative pieces that per se may have artistic merit. Freehand sketching is such a drawing which is drawn without measuring instruments. This drawing is drawn with the help of pencil and eraser. Such drawing is drawn before every type of actual drawing because it takes less time. Freehand drawing has much importance in practical works because a draftsman has to check drawings of every object from the engineer. At the checking of complete drawing, much time is wasted on alterations if needed. Since less time is needed for freehand drawing, therefore, initially such drawing should be depended upon. Following principles should be followed for freehand sketching. Number 1. The object should be seen thoroughly and pondered over its objectives and concepts. Number 2. More detailed aspect is considered for selection of a view. Number 3. Space is specified on a drawing sheet according to the sizes of views. Number 4. The dim lines are drawn so that extra lines may be erased easily. Number 5. Scale and ruler are not used in drawing, although ratio and proportion of different parts of an object are considered. Number 6. Horizontal lines are drawn, then vertical lines are drawn, and arcs and circles are drawn lastly. Number 7. After completing the diagram, a clear scale is written in some suitable manner. The following art tools and materials are needed in freehand sketching: soft lead pencil, eraser, sharpener, drawing sheets, graph sheets. Number 1. Soft lead pencil. A pencil is the prime tool for drawing. Constructed a narrow solid pigment core in a protective casing that prevents the core from being broken or marking the user's hand. Pencils create marks by physical abrasion, leaving a trail of solid core material that adheres to a sheet of paper or another surface. In general, pencils are numbered or graded to inform the buying public of the hardness of the pencil lead. Pencil leads also have subgrades that are used mainly by graphic artists. For H, 2H, H, HB, F, B, B2, and the softest being B4. What do the letters and the numbers on a pencil mean? Pencils are marked with H's and B's. The H means hard and the B means black. These letters can be used alone or in combination with one another, such as HB pencil. The HB is equivalent to the American number 2 pencil you've used for years. Number 1 pencil is the same as B pencil. Observe the pencil hardness chart to further understand. Number 2, eraser. An eraser, also known as a rubber in Commonwealth countries from the material first used, is an article of stationery that is used for removing marks from paper or skin like parchment or vellum. Erasers have a rubbery consistency and come in a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. There are types of eraser according to its usage, and these are: vinyl eraser. It is a plastic or drafting eraser. Can erase graphite, charcoal, and even ink. Should be used lightly because it can harm paper. Pencil eraser or pencil with eraser tip. Also available in the form of mechanical pencil, and some comes with a brush. These are good for precision work. Rubber eraser, also found on top of a pencil. This is firm but less harmful to paper than vinyl eraser. Gum eraser. It is soft and translucent. It tends to crumble. Not good for precision work. It doesn't harm your paper. Kneaded eraser. It is soft and pliable. Good for erasing fine details and can be used for graphite and charcoal. Also good for paper and not useful for erasing large spaces. Sand eraser can erase pencil, colored pencils, and ink. Good for creating highlights in colored pencil sketches. Can harm your paper. Number 3. Sharpener. A pencil sharpener is a tool for sharpening a pencil's writing point by shaving away its worn surface. Pencil sharpeners may be operated manually or by electric motor. It is common for many sharpeners to have casing around them, which can be removed for emptying a pencil shaving debris into a trash bin. Types of pencil sharpener. Classic single blade pencil sharpener grips. The pencil sharpener with deposit. Double pencil sharpeners. Crank sharpener. And electric pencil sharpener. The fourth material for freehand sketching is the drawing sheets. These are sheets of paper used for drawing. They have fixed dimensions. Different sizes of paper are available. We use according to our need. Graph sheet. Graph paper is writing paper that is printed with fine lines making up a regular grid. The lines are often used as guides for plotting graphs of functions or experimental data and drawing curves. Those are following materials for freehand sketching. This time, we will practice the different pencil techniques in freehand sketching. Are you excited? Great! Now, get those materials in freehand sketching and follow this video demonstration.
Right, let's talk a little bit about drawing. And drawing starts off with the idea that everything, no matter what sort of thing you have, everything is made up of shapes. And the shapes are reasonably fairly simple. I've just got 3 objects over here. And if we can look at each of these objects in turn, looking at them in a certain angle, they're all kind of made up of shapes. So we've got a square shape. We've got a circular shape over here. Now I could trace that circle shape if I wanted to, but if I want to draw a circle has a center. Just plot the center, go from either side, mark out around the edges roughly where you think that circle is going to be so that all the radiuses are equidistant. Then you can turn the page around if you want, because your hand has a natural flow and you can create a reasonably accurate circle. So use the natural twist of your wrist to create to be able to take advantage of drawing shapes that look like they're reasonably circular. Now, straight lines. Let's talk about straight lines a bit. If you want to draw a straight line, don't try and draw a straight line by moving your hand like this, by pivoting at your wrist. It's going to form an arc. Instead, pivot from your elbow, or even from your shoulder, and just draw. So my elbow is stiff, my wrist is stiff, and I'm just drawing straight lines like that. You can give that a go. So wrist is stiff, arm is stiff, and just try drawing straight lines. You can make them across the other way, like this. And don't be afraid about making mistakes. A lot of people, when they start drawing, they're not used to it, they'll try and hedge their bets by drawing lots of little lines to try and get a straight line. I call that the furry beast. Just do a nice straight line all the way across. Be bold, be confident. Now if you want to join two bits, say for example we've got this shape over here, we want to draw that shape, it's kind of looking at it from this angle. It's like a rectangle here, and then it's got sort of a chopped off triangle at the bottom. So let's do our rectangle first. There's the rectangular section. So that's that section over here. There's the rectangle. And now we've got this triangular section. So let's work out the halfway. It's going to be like that. So it's in the middle. It's a symmetrical shape. And we've got a distance, and the distance is going to be sort of like that. Now I've got to join from these two edges to a certain distance, which will be the bottom edge. So from there to there. I'm looking at that, I'm going, I think that's about from there to there. And now I'm going to draw my lines across. Now they're straight lines. If I want to start at one point, finish at another, practice a little bit, and then once you're certain, draw your line. Do the same thing here. Turn the paper a bit. See, I'm twisting it to make it easy for my hand. Move the paper around rather than you moving around. So it's from here to here. There it is. And now we've got roughly what that shape looks like. It's only a sample. Now, the other shape that you often meet up with are things like triangles. So for a triangular shape, well, we've almost got a triangle sitting over here, like that. So again, if I wanted to draw this shape, looking at it from the side, I'd have a rectangle here. Down the bottom, there's the rectangle. Then I'd have sort of like a triangle cut off, and another square, and some more little shapes. And all of it is symmetrical about an axis. So if I want to draw that shape looking at it from the side, the first thing that I'd do is say, okay, where's the central axis? There it is. And then I'm going to start the object down the bottom over here. I'll decide it's going to be about that high. And then my next little stage is looking at it will be about this high. And then there's another section up here, a couple of little more sections, and then the top of it. So there's my different sort of heights of the object. I'm making it a little bit bigger than what it is, so it's easier for you to see. Maybe I'll go from this side if I'm not left-handed. Okay. And then I'd start to draw my widths. So I think it's symmetrical, so I'm going to make it go from here to here. Now I've got a shape that's going to go across like that. Next I've got a triangular surface like we did up here. Join those two lines, 1, 2. I've got another little rectangular section which looks like a rectangle. If I hold it up to you about there, you can see that's sort of like a rectangle. So there it is there. I'm not looking for accuracy, I'm looking for a visual representation of what this object would look like. And then I'm going to go across here, make another little rectangle, that's that top one up here, join it up, another one here, and lastly a little spout at the top. And that's what that shape looks like. If I wanted to make it look a bit more three-dimensional, I can imagine a light source coming from one side here like that, and I can colour. The parts closer to the light will be brighter, the parts further away will be darker, and I can just use some parallel lines to give that impression. Straight away the object starts looking more three-dimensional. Okay, so we've got circles, rectangles, we'll have triangles, and these lines that I'm drawing here are called construction lines. So construction lines give us a point of reference that we can draw on, and we usually drew them draw them in a lighter line format, so they're not as heavy. I'm using a pen because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. But more complicated shapes can easily be broken down into circles and squares. Like for example, this shape here. It's a more complicated shape. But if I look at it carefully, I can think, okay, I've got various shapes here. I've got a triangular looking shape sitting down over here. So if I were to draw it a little bit like this to show its shape, I'm going to have a center line roughly there. And I can say, all right, well, this is almost like a triangle here. There it is. There. And there. This middle section is more squarish. There it is. And the last little section trails off to another triangle, down sort of to here and to here. And then I've got a little hollow section over there. So that's just like two circles joined by a square, like that. And then I've got the approximate shape. Now I can smoothen that shape out if I want to a little bit later to make it look more fluid, to represent the shape that I've done a little bit better. But I've got guidelines to work on. And of course inside you can see other little shapes appearing and so forth. There's circles and gears and bits and pieces. But just to indicate to you that all of these, just a straight line there, all of these, most shapes can be represented as triangles, squares or circles, or some combination of those. So if you can draw a triangle, if you can draw a square, and if you can draw a circle, even if it's not exactly perfectly round, you can draw almost any shape.
Now, to test your understanding about our lesson, let's have an activity, and it is entitled the Match Me Out. Directions. Match the list of the descriptions at column A to the tools and materials in freehand sketching at the column B. Write your answer on your paper. I will give you enough time to finish your task. Good luck, students. Now let's begin. And the timer starts now. Now let us try to check your answers. Are you excited to know your score? Alright! Number 1, eraser. Number 2, soft lead pencil. Number 3, sharpener. Number 4, drawing sheet or drawing paper. Number 5, graph sheet. And that ends our art lesson about special program in the arts, visual arts for grade 7, quarter 3. I hope that you find this lesson useful in your art practicums. May all the ideas for today will be instilled in your mind, and let us continue to explore more about the significance of visual arts in our lives. And that would be all for today, my dear visual arts students. Once again, I am Teacher Richard Indab Fernandez from Manat National High School, Nabunturan East District, saying, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!
And we're back here live sa TV Eskwela sa pag-aaral sama-sama.
That was Sir Richard R. Fernandez of Manat National High School. Congratulations, sir. Sana masidatingala itong mga viewers mo.
wala si Sir Richard. Kaya naa siguro yung importante.
Yes, na yung mga
Equally important na event or activity
yes,
na
nga giasikaso. So, Sir Maki. Unsa ba imong mga natun-an karon sa ato ang lesson kang Sir Fernandez?
Well, actually, nindot kaya ang lesson ni Sir Fernandez, no? It talks about katong unsaon mga pag-draw, freehand sketching, yes, wherein aminin man nato, 'di ba, sa katong mga bata pa ta or elementary high school, mahilig kayo ta mag-skig drawing sa tong mga notebook. Di ba ka ang likod sa atong notebook, mapuno na og mga drawing nga bisag unsa. Kung ma-board ta, sige tag drawing. Now,
bukid.
Yes, so yan ay mga langgam nga letter M.
Kabalo jud kay kananya. Una jud nato na number drawing ana sun. Yan na day clouds. Nya manggawas din ng langgam, bukid ug dalan.
Dili dagat ako ka ng palayan.
Palayan nato letter V.
Letter V.
Kaya siya na lesson Sir Ed, Sir Maki ug si Kang Ma'am Rain. Dapat mao ni siya ang itudlo dapat sa mga parents na nagsugod pa lang ang ilahang mga bata sa pag engage into sa drawing o sa kinahin ng mga butang kay based on sa gipakita ni Sir Richard iyahang isa-isa niya what are the material na kinahanglang jud sa pag-sketch o sa pag-drawing. And na mga eraser na apoy mga pencil na naa siya lain-lain pod na numbers. Kaya dili lang na number 1 gamiton tanan na apoy siya lain-lain pod. Depende pod sa kanang shade sa lapis na gamiton.
Yes, ya ato na hibalan ra ba yan, no, katong specific ra biya nga brand gana ay 1 ug na ay 2.
Mongol. No, pero di ba Sir Fred, as far as I know kanang sa ato sa field nato labi na sa campus journey, di ba ato ang mga cartoonist mag-request magid na sila pencil mo na sila nga kani siya nga katong 2B tong 2D kato nilang ipang request nga huy na di mga lapis nga ingon
depende sa appearance sa quality sa ilahang output na makita. Then na-learn po na ko dito na usually graph paper ginagamit na siya sa math, especially sa kanang mga graphing na lesson nato. Ang graph paper po ay isa po siya na dako na gamit o material para po sa basic na pagkanang guide para mag-drawing ang usa ka bata.
Yes, and most recently na ako share ako nakita sa isa ka social media nga account wherein isa siya ka jewelry maker. Tapos ang iyang dituan niya gina-sketch sa graphing paper ang iyang mga design. Actually, it's Casey Concepcion. Di ba na siya avec mga jewelry collection wherein siya po na nag-design sa mga jewelries. So dito na ko nakita po ang nga graphing paper ang iyang ginagamit nga drawingan sa iyang mga sketch. And nakita na po nato usab sa video presentation ni Sir nga pwede gina siya gamiton po sa pag-sketch.
Siguro mo sketch mo draw si Sir Richard, no? Kung napa lang siya diri ato kay siyang mahinabi gyud kung masayahang kuan hilig gyud sa pag-sketch o sa pag-draw.
How da ko mabuhat og linya, ma'am? Kana dihan dapita.
Mahilig ko mag-drawing pero murag ako ra po na makasabot sa akong gina-drawing.
Kanang mura pang elementary lang na drawing siguro, ma'am. Pero pag kaingon na kanang highly technical na drawing siguro lahi na level siguro. Kala basic lang.
How about you, Ma'am Kring?
Ako actually bata ko na drawing pero mo na ginaingon no nga dako yun ang role sa parents no nga suportahan nila mga kids. Labi na sa mga parents nila tanaw karon kung inyong mga anak nag-draw. Ayun lang yun. Basta naman po na mag-drawing din ha. Support. Kaya basig ka ng bataa ng imong architect.
Yes, di na po naman sige reklamo nga nahurot na jud ang imong notebook o color drawing.
Og lapis.
Og lapis, sige lang.
Na may ubang good sir na bisa suguon, di masugo kay magsige tag drawing. Diba? Na may mga parents na siguro kag drawing diha para di ka masugo diha sa kuan. Oo.
Mag-study ka dito. Pero wala siya kabalo nga.
Yes, mao po dito ang po ang intelligence sa bata.
Illustrator, pwede po siya ma-illustrate ang bata. So, I guess mura og napuno ang ato ang mga minds nato no sa topic ni Sir Richard with regard sa sketch o sa drawing. Kung naapunta siya sa makahatag punta og ni ka nang daghan pag-input kumbaga on sa advance pa sa pag-sketch o sa pag-draw po.
Yes sir, and I'm sure no napatay i-look forward pa nga mga presentation gikan kay Sir Richard in the near future. And we also look forward nga makauban po nato siya diri personally sa atong studio.
We can observe Sir Ed o Sir Maki and Ma'am Ting. Di ba ang sketching karong is pwede na siya digital, computerized na. Nakita ko katong sa TV one time na ay draw sketch dito na giagi siya through computer.
Yeah, and I believe, di ba sir, ang mga lakbitan lang nato no, nakahisgot naman jud kagato sa jewelry making, di ba? Ang mga kasagaran sa mga fashion designers karon na sila ka na sa tablets or sa pads nila. Dito na lang sila naga-sketch, tanan sila mga designs kay para sa ilaha at least dali-dali na lang pud ako na sila yung mga changes nga pagabuhaton.
Yes, as we convert no into a digital age, di ba? So murag na dito atanan makita as yes.
Sketch pa dito sa kanang kuan tablet or sa computer. Pwede na mga bata magkuan ito. Way kalas pa og papel kay pwede.
Yes, mas eco-friendly siya, sir.
Okay. So, I guess nahuman na ang ato ang topic, ang ato ang presentation kay Sir Richard. Og panahon na po siguro para pasalamatan nato ang dapat natong pasalamatan sa ato ang pang-adlaw-adlaw nato na airing sa ato ang TVBI. Okay? So, unahon nato ang ato ang inahan sa ato ang DepEd Davao de Oro, si Ma'am Eufemia T. Gamutin, inubanan sa iyahang assistant na walay lain kundi si Sir Romel D. Handayan. And sa ato ang technical director or sana siya, si Sir Dexter. Of course, dili pod mawala pod ang iyahang assistant and uban pod ang ato ang mga education program supervisors.
And also, amo pong ginapasalamatan ang TWG sa TVBI, ang ato ang mga production staff, ang ato ang mga anchors, atong mga social media team, o ang ato ang mga video editors nga gina-morning the night jud ang pag-edit sa mga videos, o ang ato ang mga sound technicians.
Yes, ug ato pong dakong pasalamat sa ato ang mga personnel diri sa SOM, si Sir Joy, si Sir Janjan, and
kompleto sila or kulang silang isa karon. Okay, kompleto sila karon, murag na busy pud sila kay naapod sila kaugalingon pud na agenda sa likod. And
si Sir Joy.
Wala si Sir Joy.
Si kinsa pa to? Si Sir Jonel. Ayan. Sir Jonel. Ayan po.
So,
yes, and Sir Fred, I would like also to take this opportunity to personally thank our PSDS Dr. Alan Guerta, the school principal of Nabunturan National Comprehensive High School, Dr. Maria B. Vertusio, and sa Senior High School Department, Dato Edgardo Masambo. And hi po, good afternoon sa tanan nga TVL teachers sa Compre.
Yes, ako po pasalamatan ang supportive PSDS Sir Noel P. Canales, sa ang principal, Ma'am Jocelyn de la Cuesta, sa ako department head ng Corazon Cantutay, sa mga teachers, senior high school teachers din, at Juan Orlando S. National High School. Hello po.
and sa mo apod ni Sir Ed ang among PSDS na walay putol ang pagsuporta sa mua si Ma'am Foy. Inubanan po sa mo ang bag-o na principal sa Magnaga National High School na wala lain kundi si Ma'am Wilma P. Damuli na asya karon dito sa among school na ay activity sa among school na ginapahitabo ang kaning SIP. And of course, pasalamatan po nako ang mga kaubaran nako diya sa eskwelahan, especially ang mga teachers sa senior o sa junior high school. Daghan kayong salamat sa padayon or makanayong suporta ninyo sa TV Eskwela.
Og sa akong usabon, akong pagtimbaya og pagpasalamat sa mga PSDS si Dr. Florlinda G. Dinopol sama sa gingon ni Sir Fred nga naa karon sa Magnaga National High School alang sa pag-discuss sa SIP og sa ako ang principal sa Bungabong National High School Sir Rolando Sinoses ug pagtimbaya usab nako sa akong mga kaubanan sa Bungabong National High School labi na sa grade 10 department. So, ayun.
Yes, so it has been a fun-filled learning experience karong Tuesday sa kahaponon. And I hope you stay safe sa inyong mga panimalay kay murag kaulanon na pod.
Yes. Kaulanon, murag nag-ulan na jud. Pero, iba ika nga nila, when it rains, it pours, and it's a blessing.
Yes, so atangin na pod miugma sa usa na pod ka mabungahon nga episode diri lang sa TV Eskwela sa pag-aaral sama-sama. Bye-bye!
Davao de Oro TV Eskwela would like to thank the following stakeholders. Provincial Government of Davao de Oro, headed by Governor J.V. Tyron L. Uy, Vice Governor Maria Carmen S. Zamora, First District Representative Manuel E. Zamora, Second District Representative Ruel Peter S. Gonzaga, Servicio Oro Mismo, SOM Program Director Fem Maestre, SOM Executive Producer Alfonso June Tabas, SOM Technical Director Charleston L. Arcales, SOM Program Coordinator Ray M. Antibo, Lead Cameraman Brian B. Jimenez, and the Nabunturan Cable TV Network, Mr. Chino B. Uy.
Davao de Oro TV Eskwela would like to thank the Division of Davao de Oro headed by Schools Division Superintendent Euphemia Tigamutin, CESO 5, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Romel R. Handayan, CID Chief Karina S. Frasco, SGOD Chief Dr. Ruben J. Reponte, Education Program Supervisors Dr. Hilda A. Upenya, Dr. Eldecris Calzadora, Cecilia C. Morales, Vergelito S. Pobresis, Dr. Dexter A. Sequinia, Dr. Grace D. Pontillas, Nohara O. Pinote, Noemi P. Canales, Dr. Arlene B. Lim, and Juanito M. Lapiceros.